Hey there, it's Chuck with MTG The Journey, and I apologize for this, but I somehow or another happened to not record my audio on this one. But here was our opening hand here, and I actually kind of like the fact that I can go back and look at this a little bit better. Um, and really, there were a few decent choices here. The Elvish Mystic wasn't bad, Sarah Angel was not bad, and I really liked Sarah Angel over the Indestructibility there. Here, the Grim Return probably would have been okay to go ahead and pick up. But Elvish Mystic seemed like a really good pickup here. And even Celestial Flare would have been really nice to pick up here. And I don't know why I didn't pick up the Celestial Flare. The removal would have been really, really nice. But I'm pretty sure I go for Elvish Mystic here. So here, now that I'm looking back, um, the Flesh Pulper Giant really isn't bad. Cyclops Tyrant is also not bad. Root Walla is by far one of my favorite cards to play in M14. I think that's why I pick it here. Show of Valor would have been a decent pickup as well. And even Corpse Hauler wouldn't have been bad, but the Root Walla, I think, it's between Root Walla and Flesh Pulper Giant here. And here I really liked Nightwing Shade, but I also really like Giant Growth here. Giant Growth is pretty dynamite. Barrage of Expendables is not exciting at all, and Act of Treason's not bad either. Giant Growth or Voracious Worm would have been good pickups here though, but I think the Nightwing Shade with the buff ability is really nice. So, and here Advocate of the Beast is almost, I mean, what else would you really pick here other than maybe Trained Condor or Siege Mastodon's even okay, but Advocate of the Beast has too much playability, especially with already having 2 green cards. And, you know, Gnawing Zombie's not terrible, but Advocate of the Beast here, I mean, in my opinion, is just the better card, because if you pick up a Beast or 2, or another Advocate of the Beast, then things can get out of hand really quickly there. Dark Prophecy, not interesting at all. Dawnstrike Paladin is probably the best, and Pitchburn Devils here is also really good. And Soulmender's not terrible, but it's definitely not games. Dawnstrike Paladin with the Lifelink and Vigilance is by far the best. And Ranger's Guile isn't bad either, but I really think for at the point in this round, for 6th pick, it's between Pitchburn Devils and the Knight. So, you know, I try to keep my options fairly open here as far as what the best picks in the packs were. And I'm not sure what I'm pointing out here, but I really do like that Sarah Angel, though. That's a pretty decent card with the Flying and Vigilance. And Elixir here is not bad. And there's another Dawnstrike Paladin. Elixir's not really all that interesting here. Trollhide is really nice. I really probably should have picked up that Trollhide. I'm not sure if I did or I didn't. And Elixir of Immortality is just, I don't know, it's decent. But I really think the Dawnstrike Paladin is probably where I should go with. Just looking at it from this angle. As an Elixir is more of a late late pack pick than an early one. And here Deathgaze Cockatrice is okay, and I don't know why I picked it up here. Giant Growth was clearly the better card. And Indestructibility here is just perfect. It's fine. That card can be, I think that card can be really good in the right situations. Because it can either make a blocker just fantastic, unless they have Trample, or it makes an attacker be able to get through and they can't remove it, so on and so forth. And here there's nothing really all that great. And Artificer's Hex is just not fantastic. And I'm pretty sure I don't pick it here. I think I just take the Goblin shortcut or try to steal it from somebody else here. Although we're not completely out of red at this point either, because of the fact that we're still trying to keep ourselves open to whatever may come down the pipeline here. And a quarter shield is what I should have picked up here, I think. Or Show of Valor is fine too, but a quarter shield is probably what I would have picked here. And another Show of Valor, see, that's why I should have gone with my instinct there and gone ahead and pick up the quarter shield, because the Show of Valor is fine, but definitely it probably isn't worth playing two of them. And a third one, but I don't think I pick up a third one here. Let's go ahead and take something from somebody else. Get rid of another Lava Axe. So that does it for the first pack there. And at this point, we're pretty predominantly not really having a color. I mean, we're very white and green, but we have some splashes of other colors here that are definitely worth looking into. And here, I'm pretty sure I take the Chandra's Phoenix, which was stupid. The double red is just awful. If anything, I probably should have taken the other Nightwing Shade. And here Congregate would have been a decent one to pick up as well, especially with so much white. But this is really just kind of a crap pack. And Vampire Warlord seems pretty decent as well. And even the Angelic Wall there seems pretty decent, as the 0/4 flyer can block quite a few things. Here Colonian Tusker was a big no-duh. That's a very good card, a beast, and it works well with Advocate of the Beast. And for the low casting cost, it's really good. Anytime you can get a 3/3 for 2, it's not awful. And Bubbling Cauldron here, I really like, but I don't think I take it here. I think I take the Howl of the Night pack maybe, but maybe I do just take Bubbling Cauldron because it works so well. Because Bubbling Cauldron works really well with quite a few different life gain strategies that produce tokens and things of that nature. Excuse me. And it seemed like the cards just took forever to wheel as well. People took a long time to make up their mind what they wanted to pick. But that is okay. We're up to 19 cards at this point, and we're looking very white. And yeah, there you go. See the Angelic Accord here. Works fantastic with Bubbling Cauldron, and I would have been so mad if I would have come around to Angelic Accord and not picked up the Bubbling Cauldron, because that fulfills a huge need. And Angelic Accord can be so deadly if they don't have a way to stop your flyers or get rid of your tokens. Especially if you have a way to just repeatedly gain life. And see, the thing I like about the Bubbling Cauldron Angelic Accord combo is I can sack anything, and it gives me a 4/4. I can sack at the end of my turn, I can sack at the beginning of their turn. I mean, I could sack at any point, and it would be really nice if you had a way to untap that as well. The Bubbling Cauldron, so that way you could do it one every other turn too. You could block, sack it, create another token, attack the next turn. Giant Spider here is just a no-duh. The card is fantastic. Especially when hooked up with indestructibility, that guy can just block anything all day long. So at this point, this is looking like what with the white, green, black strategy. And I know I don't play a whole lot of other colors unless it's definitely obvious that I should be, but I'm just not a huge fan of red strategies, and I'm not a huge fan of blue strategies. I just don't like playing the cards. I mean, they don't. I don't get it. I don't know any other way to say that. And the Angelic Wall here, Divine Favor was probably the better one to pick up, but we didn't have very many creatures at this point, so I think the Glade Clever Scout was just okay. And Solemn Offering was decent, but Blessing just had so much potential here. And I really think that was a great pickup. And I think Lay of the Land here is just what you go for, but Staff of the Wild Mage just wouldn't have been bad to pick up either. But I think I was thinking at this point, with 3 colors, especially if we decided to go with all 3 colors, the Lay of the Land would definitely help us even out some of our mana fixing. And here, Staff of the Death Mages or Undead Minotaur. Undead Minotaur would have been fine here, but an Angelic Wall is better. Even though it's only got the Defender, it still is pretty decent. And here, the Pay No Heed is not awful. Probably should have picked up the Diabolic Tutor or the Duress. But the Pay No Heed is a decent sideboard card for a deck like this. And Fog is definitely what you pick up here. We don't need another Vampire Warlord. And I think... excuse me. I'm so sorry. I cannot seem to get rid of this cough. And Fog here is actually terrible. And I think we end up picking up like 3 of them over the course of the draft here. And that might even be another one this exact turn, which is just... ugh. Because really, you almost never play them. Unless there's just situations where you just get totally blown out all over the place. So far this deck is shaping up pretty decent here. And I'm not gonna, after we get to the end of this year, I'm not gonna spend a whole bunch of time talking about why we built it the way we built it. And Ratchet Bomb here, I picked it up. Just simply because of the fact that if you have another player that an Haunted Plate Mail, man, I almost really regret not taking that. Just simply because of the fact that it has so much potential. And Ratchet Bomb is a really good card, but I really think the Haunted Plate Mail should have probably been my pick. So I don't know, maybe say what you think about that, but and another Root Walla here is definitely what I would go for. Auramancer's not terrible, Siege Mastodon's not terrible, another Deathgaze Cockatrice is over the top. And here we're really having to start to narrow down how we want to shape this deck. And Root Walla is definitely the best out of the colors we've picked. So, and really, Root Walla is a really good card in this draft setting, so I don't see any downside to picking it. And again, like I was saying, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time at the end here going over the deck build itself. I'm just going to skip to the end and let you see the deck that actually got built. And we'll go ahead and let you go ahead and get on with this draft here. Again, I apologize that I'm voicing over this instead of actually doing it live, but for some reason it just recorded the video and not the audio this time. The very next recording, it recorded the audio just fine, so I'm not really sure what the deal was, but... And here... I think I just picked up the Soul Mender. just because of the fact, and blue is so wide open here. There's a lot of options for blue. I think I just either the Soul Miner or the Verdant Haven, and Divine Favor again would have been fine, but I think I just go with the Soul Mender just because of the fact that it's a low casting cost creature, which I needed at this point. And the elixir here was a way to gain life to interact with Angelic Accord. So I really feel like I didn't have any issues going with that. The Darksteel Ingot would have been nice for the mana fixing, and Hunt the Weak would have been nice as well. But the elixir fulfilled the Angelic Accord, Bubbling Cauldron, whole deal. And Deadly Recluse here, or Enlarge, would have been great. But Deadly Recluse is just... I love the Deadly Recluse. I'm going to be so sad if we lose that card and it's not reprinted in M15. I really like the 2 casting cost, 1/2 Reacher with Death Touch. That is such a valuable card. And Brave is fine, Suntail Hawk is fine, but neither of those really fill what I'm looking for here. Blightcaster would have been okay. And Verdant Haven, I think is what I ended up picking here, just because of the land fixing. Ranger's Guile here would have been decent, but Sentinel Sliver was a little bit closer to what I was looking for. So far here you're looking at quite a bit of interactability. There's quite a bit going on here. Deathcase Cockatrice I think is out, and Vampire Warlord is out. I think we're just going to keep the Nightwing Shade in for black, just because of pump ability, which is nice. So all around, this deck is not awful. And really, and Shimmering Grotto here I think is what I pick up. Which Pillarfield Ox wouldn't have been bad, but I think I just did the Shimmering Grotto just because of the mana fixing again, as it was a decent pick for that. And I don't want to ever get stuck not having a Compassion Knight here is just dynamite. This is a good late pickup for us. Or Capuchin Knight, however you say that. I'm not really sure, but it's a really good pickup for us that late in the game. So that was really nice to pick up. And it's so hard not to talk about what actually went on in the event as well, because I'm going back after the event's already over and re-recording this. So it's really hard not to tell you how these cards functioned in the event and why they were decent picks. And Ring Flesh here is fine. Siege Mastodon I think is what I pick up here. Just because of the fact that it's more in our color wheelhouse, and it's a big butt. I mean, that thing is nice. And it definitely adds to our upper end here. Another Verdant Haven I think is what I pick up. I don't end up using it, I don't think, but no, I just rob a Seacoast Drake from someone else. And Sensory Deprivation I steal again from someone else, as that can get really annoying really fast. Because if somebody has one, I definitely don't want them having a second one. And Pay No Heed here, we pick up again, and again, it's probably not going to get used. We get a Zephyr Charge that we steal, and a Mountain that we get, none of which will end up getting used here. Excuse me one more time. And here I'm going to go ahead and just skip to the end here. Or maybe I'm not. So I guess I'm just gonna let this play out and keep talking, because it won't let me skip here. And you can wait around and see how the deck turned out. And here I'm just kind of going through and picking stuff that I knew I definitely wanted in there. I think I just started with creatures first. And the Glade Cover Scout, I think I put in there. Maybe I didn't. You only had 14 creatures there. Yeah, Glade Cover Scout and Angelic Wall I think we put in as well. So I can't remember here whether we just put in 1 or 2 Show of Valors here. The Bubbling Cauldron, we were like, yeah, we're taking that. Elixir, yeah, that's coming in. Ratchet Bomb's more of a sideboard. I think I put that back just because I was like, nah, this is more of a sideboard card. We don't really want it main board. Indestructibility comes in. Angelic Accord comes in. Blessing is fine. And we drag in a Verdant Haven, and then we're like, hey, there's another card here that's probably better than this Ratchet Bomb. So we're going to go ahead and take it out and put another card in. We add Grotto here because it's mana fixing. We love it. And here is where I think I take out Ratchet Bomb. It's like, nah, it's more of a sideboard card. And we'll go ahead and bring in another Show of Valor. And then we'll add land and we'll make this the deck. Is what I'm saying during this part of the video. So thanks for watching again, and this has been Chuck with MTG The Journey, and it's actually going soon to be Focus Games. So thanks for watching, and we will see you guys in the draft.